Hi, everybody. I wanted to make a recording because we have missed a lot of Mondays this month. Therefore, we've missed a lot of PE classes. So I wanted to figure out the easiest way to make up for some of that missed time. And I thought maybe just sending you a quick recording to watch would be the easiest way for everybody. Scheduling makeup sessions and stuff can be hard because it can conflict with your existing stuff. So really quickly, we are in week 5 this week, which covers nutrition and hydration, which I think is pretty important info. You've probably covered some of this in previous PE classes or health classes, but it never hurts to have a quick refresher, right? So assignments due for this week. There was no school yesterday, so you didn't have to do the check-in quiz. You also only have to log 4 workout days. Sorry about the dates there, those are not right. Today is January 17th, 2023. No school on the 16th, so if you only put 4 days on your workout log this week, that is fine. Make sure to get that turned in on Friday. I only work a normal school day on Friday. So if you turn your log in the evening or later at night, that's fine. You'll still get full credit, but it might not get graded until the following week. So if you notice, hey, I turned this in and there's an F, that's because I went in and I put zeros in the grade book for everyone who hadn't submitted it yet Friday afternoon. And if you hadn't submitted it by the time I did that, then there would be a 0 until I go grade it. So no worries about that. It happens. Your learning target for today, investigate the relationship between physical activity, nutrition, and body composition. How do these things work together? Food as fuel. Think of food as energy and fuel for your body. It makes a lot more sense that way when we talk about how we're supposed to eat. Your body needs fuel that it can convert into energy that you need to breathe, think, laugh, talk, and exercise. Your growing body, especially if you're still growing, needs both food of the healthy variety and water in the proper amounts to maintain a high level of performance. If you're feeling tired, groggy, grumpy, chronic pain of any type, especially at your age, that can be highly connected to your diet, exercise, and hydration habits. All right, what is nutrient density? If we were in class, I would ask you guys to tell me what you know about this or what it means. Excuse me, I'm having like allergies today. But instead, I'm just going to tell you. Nutrient density is basically how much nutrition or good stuff we can pack into a calorie. So something like red meat, refined oils, sugars, those things have very low to no nutrient density. So for the amount of calories you're going to get, for the amount of calories you're eating with a bowl of ice cream, the amount of nutrients simply does not uh, add up, right? It doesn't meet any kind of nutrient density requirement. So if you're eating something like raw leafy vegetables, solid green vegetables, fruits, beans, fish, all of these things have pretty decent nutrient density per calorie. So it's more bang for your buck, so to speak. Um, some people keep track of what they eat and they take it a step further than just counting calories. They count what we call your macronutrients. I'm not encouraging this. I'm not saying you need to do this. But if you're a person who really wants to get healthier, maybe you want to lose a little bit of weight or get leaner, build some muscle, this is what a lot of um, fitness experts do. They don't just count calories, they keep track of how many carbohydrates, how many proteins, and how many fats they eat each day. And I'm not going to get into specifics on how many you should eat. You can find that out by going to this website, and I'll actually send you all these links in an email when I send you this recording. I'm sorry, I'm going to sneeze again. But it goes into more details about what counting macros is and how to do it properly. it basically you have goals in each of those categories. So this is the number of carbohydrates you want to eat each day. This is the number of proteins, and this is the number of fats. So it sounds like a lot of work, but from people that I don't do it, but from people that I've talked to, you really do get used to it. You get used to making sure each of your meals is balanced and has a certain number of each of these things. And obviously, fruits and vegetables you want to eat a lot of. These are the things that they want to make sure that they're not eating too much of one thing. Has anybody heard of intermittent fasting? This is kind of a new thing that has been going on lately. I'm not going to say whether it's good or bad. I know that there's some mixed opinions on it, especially depending on your gender, your age, your fitness level, your activity level, any health complications you might have. You know, you want to take all of those things into account. So definitely talk to a doctor or your parents before you try anything like this. But it's essentially changing your eating patterns. And from what I've been told by most doctors, it's best to get most of your food in early in the day and actually try not to eat for several hours before bed, because the food that you eat before you go to sleep not only impedes your sleep, it makes you not sleep as well because your body's working and it's still stimulated. Your digestive system is stimulated, but you actually hold on to most of those calories and store them because you're not moving anymore, right? You're laying down and you're sedentary. So trying not to eat too much before bed is a great habit, and I wouldn't necessarily call that intermittent fasting, but intermittent fasting can be pretty it depends on the person. So you can basically choose, I want to eat for this many hours each day, and for the rest of the day, I'm going to fast. So some people only let themselves eat between the hours of 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Or some people make it even smaller, like noon to 5 p.m. or something like that. And so they pack in all that healthy food, all the nutrient dense food they can get, and then they don't eat the rest of the time. But I'm going to send you a link or an article to read about that so that you can look into that if that's something that's interesting to you. What is a metabolism? The process by which your body converts food into energy is called a metabolism. The higher your metabolic rate, the more effectively your body will process the food you consume. Some people seem to think that they're born with a certain metabolism and that it's stuck that way and that they can't change it. But our metabolisms are constantly shifting and changing depending on our age. Our metabolisms are constantly changing. If you get up and exercise in the morning and you start doing that regularly, your metabolism changes pretty quickly. What you eat, when you eat it, genetics do have something to do with it. Your gender has a lot to do with it. Your sleep habits, your stress level, all of these things can affect how your body uses the fuel that you feed it. So keep that in mind. The higher your metabolism, the faster your body burns fuel. So that's a good thing. You can still be healthy, you can still lose weight with a slower metabolism. So don't get that stuck in your mind that metabolism makes it impossible, right? A lot of people blame their metabolism for a lot of health issues when really it's how they're eating or how they're not eating. Food energy equals a calorie. A calorie is a scientific measurement for a particular unit of energy. So it's not just some word that we came up with, right? A calorie is an actual scientific measurement. Specifically, the amount of energy or heat it takes to raise the temperature of 1 kilogram of water by 1 degree Celsius. So it's pretty specific. For our purposes, a calorie refers to the amount of potential energy contained in food that the body can burn or metabolize. We don't always burn it all, right? If you're really sedentary and you're eating a lot of starchy, carbohydrate, sugary foods, your body is not going to burn all of it. It's going to hold on to it and store it for later, because that's how our bodies were made. Carbohydrates, you get 4 calories per gram. Proteins, you get 4 calories per gram. And fats, you get a whopping 9 calories per gram. So that just means you need less fat for the same amount of energy, right? So if you ate 2 grams of protein, you could get the same energy from 1 gram of fat. Eat nutrient-dense food. If it's high in calories, make sure it's also high in fiber, vitamins, minerals, good fats, etc. If it's just high in calories and carbs and highly processed, we call those empty calories. What are carbohydrates? They're not all bad, right? You want carbs that have not been highly broken down and processed and bleached. Most of the carbs in the middle of the grocery store in a box or a bag are probably highly processed. So you're looking for things like whole grains, brown rice, quinoa is really good. Sweet potatoes are a better choice than white potatoes. I mean, you can definitely do a lot of this research on your own. You don't have to just take it from me, but you want to look for whole grains, unprocessed carbs that have higher fiber than other processed carbohydrates. Proteins are meats, fish, dairy products. There is protein in other things like beans, tofu. It's just not as high of an amount, so you have to eat more of those things to get the same amount of protein. You need protein in order to repair your muscles, bones, skin, hair, blood, and organs. In short, just about every part of your body needs protein to heal itself and fix itself. Fats. You could say this category has a split personality. A lot of people are scared of fat, but fat is actually really good for you, especially healthy fats. Salmon, olive oil, nuts. There are so many good sources of healthy fat. Coconut oil. You want those unsaturated fats. There's nothing wrong with some butter every now and then, and red meat is fine. You want to focus more on the other fats and try to get more of those into your diet and not just the animal fats, right? So let's get a variety of different types of fats. Hydration, really important. If you get dehydrated, you want to try not to get there, right? You want to try to stay hydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty before you drink. Keep drinking throughout the day, 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. They actually say half your weight in ounces. So if you weigh 100 pounds, you should drink 50 ounces of water a day. I'm trying to hurry up. This recording mechanism I'm using only gives me 15 minutes. So MyFitnessPal is a great tracker. It's a great way to track your food intake. So try that out if that's something that you've been wanting to do. And then really quickly, I'm going to give you a workout routine. If you're running out of ideas, here's a little routine for you. We're going to do a 35-second plank, 12 push-ups, 20 squats, 20 lunges, 15 scissor kicks, and 15 bridges. I'll show you pictures of those really quickly, but if you want to take a screenshot of that, that's what we're doing today. Here's a plank. Try to hold it for 35 seconds. If that's way too easy for you, you can up it to a minute, but planking can be kind of difficult if you don't do it very often. Push-ups, modified with your knees touching the floor or not modified are fine. At least 12. And we're going to do this 3 times through. Air squats, like you're sitting in a chair and then back to standing. 20 of those. Standing lunges, so you're going to step forward and then push yourself back to standing and then alternate legs. Scissor kicks, laying flat, hands on your sides. I put my hands under my lower back because it makes me feel a little more supported, which you can do that if that helps your back. 15 of those. And then bridges. These are really good for your glutes, your core, your lower back. You're going to do 15 of those. And then we're going to try to repeat that 2 to 3 times, at least 30 minutes of exercise today. One of the greatest moments in life is realizing that 2 weeks ago, your body could not do what you just did, right? So each workout, you're getting stronger. I do have an exit ticket, which I will email you guys. I'm going to send this out in an email with a few helpful links. So if you could fill that out for me, that would be great. Hope you have a great week. Get your workouts in, turn them in on Friday. Email me or call me with questions, and we will touch base next Monday.